to episode number 15 of the Elisa Show. I'm your host, Elisa Jankowski, a business administration student, a yoga teacher, marathon runner, and currently finishing my plant-based nutritionist degree. I'm here to help you to achieve a healthier, happier, and more sustainable life. I'm also the creator of the Elisa Show Instagram account, where I post delicious and nutritious plant-based recipes. If you haven't checked it out, please do so. That's at Elisa Show over on Instagram. I hope you all had a wonderful week of good vibes, and I'm so grateful that you're tuning in with me today. So let's get started. Alright guys, the On series continues, and today I have David Kilgore on the show. He's actually running for Team USA and participated in the 2019 Trail World Championships. Not just that, he also ran 50 kilometers in just 3 hours. That's not enough? I have another one for you. He doubled up the Rio Marathon. Why not just running one marathon? You can also run it again. I think this is worth to mention. So here comes my conversation with David. All right, so I'm here today with David, and I saw David on the On Instagram channel, and I was simply impressed by his performance, and I had to reach out. I was just, oh my God, it was just so nice what you do and what you achieved, and yeah, there was no other chance than asking you to come on the show.
Well, thank you so much. Yeah, I'm super stoked to be on today, and really hyped to chat some running and life with you. Should be cool.
Yeah, woohoo! Can't wait. First of all, I was a bit confused because I know that you're currently in New York, but you were born in the UK. How is that possible?
I know. Yeah, I was traveling around even as a baby. But yeah, my dad was actually in the military, so I was born on an Air Force base in Lakenheath near Bury St. Edmunds in the UK, and then came over to Florida when I was about 2 years old, and grew up down in Florida. It's actually really funny. There's a picture of me like all dressed up in like a little suit, like when I was in England, and then like 2 years later, I was like in this like crazy like colorful shirt, and I like got like super tan, had freckles all over my face from being down in Florida. So it was pretty funny, but good times.
Yeah, I think you even have a tattoo on your arm, or isn't there?
Yeah. So that's my hometown. It says Palm Bay.
Ooh,
That's right. Yeah.
I saw it on a picture. And I thought, oh my God, this is so funny to see that. I mean, you don't see it when you see you from far away or something. It's just when you cheer or something, then you see it on the inside of your arm.
Yeah. Like a lot of people actually don't realize that it's actually real. But yeah. But yeah, it's there. They think I like wrote it on my arms like whenever I do like events or anything. But yeah, it's always there all the time, branded.
Yeah, so good. I also have another fun fact for you. I know that you're currently in New York, and I know that you set your PB for the marathon last year. And do you know what?
Nah.
I was there as well. It was my first marathon.
No way. That's
Yeah.
wild. That's so cool. How did you like it?
Oh, I loved it. I mean, I started running April last year, or not even April, May or something, and I won the spot with the Midnight Runners. Have you ever heard of them?
Yeah.
Yeah, and that was the reason why I was there.
It's insane. Yeah, New York is such a one of a kind marathon. The energy is like unbelievable. It's so fun.
Well, I have nothing to compare it to, but I was impressed.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's definitely it's definitely going to be a hard one, I feel like, to follow up, but that's so awesome to have that for you first.
Yeah, it was I mean, I didn't expect that. I mean, I'm from Berlin, and I didn't know that that I had a chance to go there to run that. I thought, well, they might choose like people from America or something, and then they picked me, and I was like, what? Is it real?
Yeah.
Am I going? Yeah, I had so much fun. But I read you ran a 2:27.
Yeah,
so
2:27.
How did it feel?
Yeah, I mean, it went really well. I kind of so we were at the start line. I was with one of my friends, Tim Rossi, and we were just jamming out to some Avicii, like right on the start line. And then we like took off, and we planned to run together for a bit of it. And about like 6 miles in, he was like, "Yeah, man, just like go ahead." And I just kind of clicked along. And I feel like every time I run New York City, I feel like I wake up that morning, especially working. I feel like the few weeks leading up, it's like a very busy time of year. I'm always just like kind of tired when I wake up like at like 5 a.m. to get to the start line. And I'm just like, oh my God, like this is such a bad idea. I don't know if I should do this. But I feel like every time I get to the start line and take off, like the energy in New York City and seeing like all of my like friends and like family like along the way, I feel like throughout the course, just like unbelievable like party. I feel like I would do it again and again and again. It's the best. And last year was like definitely just another one on the list that was just like so exciting and so awesome. I felt like the crowd just like carries you all the way to the finish. It was really exciting.
Yeah, I loved it. It was just like a huge party, and I can't even find words to explain what I felt on the way. I was crying, I was smiling, was just everything at the same time, because people were like people from the Midnight Runners
Mhm.
saw me, and they were like screaming at me, and then there were random people, and they said, "Oh, someone from the Midnight Runners," and it always feels so good when you know you have something on you that people can relate to you, and it's just so nice, especially there, and especially when you it was actually the first time for me in America, and I was just so overwhelmed, and I just loved it so much.
It's so wild. That's so cool to hear. Yeah, did you stay afterwards for a few days in the city and kind of like check it out and explore, or go to any of like the after get-togethers and stuff during the marathon?
Yeah, I did some things, and I also went to all the podcasts before. So I went to a podcast interview with Sarah Hall and Dina, and I don't know, so many other people, and it was so inspiring because they said, "Oh, at mile, I don't know, this and that, they we will see this, and be mindful that you have this then, and don't forget to do this and that." And I didn't know anything about running marathon, so it was so good for me to get these like insider tips before running the marathon.
Yeah. How did you enjoy it?
Oh, I loved it. I loved it so much. I didn't want to go, especially on the last day. I was walking in the Central Park with some friends, and I just wanted to stay. It just felt so wrong to leave this place.
Yeah. Yeah, New York is definitely a one of a kind place. It's such a fun spot.
Yeah, and me as a vegan, it's such a vegan friendly place. It's amazing.
Oh, without a doubt. Yeah, the food options are just like impeccable here. It's like crazy.
Yeah. But I read that you didn't grow up there. You grew up in Florida. Is that right? Yeah, yeah, that's what you said earlier. But I mean, isn't there like a temperature this like how hot is it in Florida, and how cold is this is it in New York?
Actually, yeah, New York, it stays pretty warm here, like in the summer months. I guess like sort of similar to Florida without the humidity though, or like as much humidity. But yeah, it's definitely Florida. I mean, I feel like stays really nice like all year round with like if you like the warmth and the sun. I don't know what it calculates to like in like Celsius. But in Fahrenheit, it's usually like Florida it stays around like the 80s, expect to in like mid 90s and stuff like that in the summertime, and then in the wintertime, there is definitely a few cold days where it gets down to like zero and stuff in New York. So there is like quite a temperature change, but here, but I kind of like it. It's like fun to have like the seasons all year round instead of
Yeah.
but I guess it's kind of nice to have both, I guess too. Like it's fun to go to the beach in December.
Oh, I get that. I had the same thing when I was in Australia. I was surprised to go to the beach on Christmas, and all these things was just it felt so wrong when you're used to no, not really snow, but coldness.
Yeah.
Uh,
There's actually a thing in my hometown during Christmas time. It's surfing Santa. So everyone goes out and like dressed up like Santa and it's like surfing at the beach. Yeah, it's pretty fun.
It's so cool. I think we had that in Australia too. It's just it just feels so wrong when you're from the other side of the world.
Yeah. There's like no snow, there's like no chill in the air. It's just like super warm. Yeah.
Yeah. And how was it for your training? Were you running in the like early morning to run when it's not that hot, or how did that go?
Yeah, kind of growing up, I always in high school and stuff like that, my high school coach always had us train in the morning, just because like with school, and then also to try to beat the heat and to get in like a little bit more like effective, like faster workouts, so we weren't like melting outside. Um,
Yeah, I
but
heard some crazy stories. That's the reason why I have to ask.
yeah, without a doubt. But yeah, we always trained pretty early in the morning. I think we started around like 6 a.m. like all the time. So I was usually always like up and at 'em for all my high school like years around like 5 a.m. So I was always an early riser. But
Yeah. I read something about a treadmill run, and a woman came to you to introduce you to your high school coach. Can you tell me a bit more about that?
yeah, without a doubt, yeah. So I mean, I was definitely like so lucky in that aspect, because I had no idea like even what I was doing, and I mean, no one in my family even knew like really what running was. Um, and I feel like yeah, it's like just like yeah, lucky. I was just like running on a treadmill. My dad just was like working out in a gym, and he's like, yeah, you can go like run if you want. So I was like running like a mile or two, as like I think I was like in sixth grade or something. And this lady that came up to me was like, "Hey, you like look pretty good running. Like, do you have like a coach?" And I was like, like I don't even know how old I was, like 10 years old or something. So I'm like really shy and like timid. And I'm like, I was like, I don't know. Like, I was like, you want to talk to my dad? So she went and talked to my dad, and kind of like linked me into with my high school coach, and I trained with him a little bit through middle school. And yeah, I was like lucky enough that he's one of the best coaches, I would say, like high school coaches like in the country and in the state of Florida, definitely, and kind of helped spark my career, and I guess like light a fire under me a little bit for some more of my passion for running. He actually just got ranked. His high school team right now, Satellite High School, is the number one boys team in the country right now.
Wow. Oh, that's so cool. Do you know if the woman is still following you around? Does she know what you're doing now?
Yeah, I think so. I haven't seen her in a bit, but she ran with him, my coach, at like his like adult camp that he puts on like during the week. And yeah, I think she's still around, but I haven't seen her in a little while. So, but I think we're Facebook friends.
At least something.
Yeah, so we got some kind of connection going on still.
I think it's just so funny to hear that. I mean, getting spotted in the gym, and then I don't know. I never heard that before. It was just so funny to read about it.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, unbelievable. I mean, I can't imagine, like, I mean, I feel like running has like led me so many places like in my life, and just like a small thing like that kind of like sparked it is just like pretty surreal to think about.
Oh, that's true. So was Colorado the next station after your high school?
Yeah, so after high school, I went out to the University of Colorado for about 3 years, and then finished up at the University of Florida for my undergrad. Mhm.
Nice. And how was it to train in Colorado? I mean, as a runner, we all know this is like the runners high society when you think about that. How, did you meet someone special, or was there something that that I don't know that you still have in mind that you can remember from that time?
Oh yeah, I mean, it was definitely one of the, I feel like craziest times in my life of like training and being like so competitive. I mean, I feel like yeah, like you said, like the University of Colorado is definitely like a pinnacle like of distance running. People that come through there, there's like so many Olympians, like world record holders, and things along those lines that are like insane. So like being there and being in that environment and running on some of those like legendary places and being with some of these like crazy athletes as well was I mean, one of a kind, and like an experience I wouldn't have traded. But yeah, it was crazy. I mean, it was the first time I basically ever left the state of Florida as well, as far as I remember, because I got
Whoa.
to Florida when I was like 2, and that was my first, I feel like, big time where I was like, it's like seeing snow and like mountains and stuff along those lines. So it was a pretty like eye-opening moment, and it was like a lot of fun, but definitely very tough, like training, and some of the best I mean, athletes in the country and potentially like the world were there at the time. So pretty cool.
How was it for you to train in altitude? Was it all right, or did it take a while to get used to it?
Yeah, it definitely took quite a bit, I feel like, to get used to it. It was definitely really brutal. but especially with like people at such a high level in training with at such like intense levels, that it was pretty tough. But I feel like I started getting the hang of it, and it comes back. I feel like every time I go back now, a little bit easier, a little bit quicker. So it's
Uh,
always nice to have it in my back pocket.
that's good. That's good. And why did you go back to Florida?
Yeah, without a doubt. So I was on like a few different scholarships when I was out there, and one of them was like an academic, and another was like a grant that I got. And so that one was like running out, and my athletic scholarship hadn't increased as much as I wanted it to when I was out there. So I ended up going back to the University of Florida because it was more in my like financial like budget, and because I also got like in-state tuition and stuff like that from growing up in Florida. So I went back there to finish up my college career. Mhm.
And what did you study?
So I studied different sciences at the University of Colorado. I studied integrative physiology, which was like sports science and kind of like I guess like functions of the body, and then studied more like science and communications like language at University of Florida.
Okay, that's interesting. I think it's always so funny to know what the athletes are doing when they're not running. And
Mhm.
I mean, I'm always impressed by what they also do. I mean, I also read that you were a photographer at some point. How was that? How did that come together?
Yeah, without a doubt. I feel like that was. I feel like my life is just a series of random occurrences that end up well. But yeah. So basically, that all came to be is when I after I finished up school, I kind of didn't know what I was going to do next. So I just kind of like lived out of my car for like 6 months and like traveled around out west. And
Yeah, there wasn't that in Arizona and Utah?
yeah, Utah and Arizona. Yep. Hmm.
Isn't that Utah is also high in altitude, or I haven't been.
Yeah, I think it's still a little higher. I think it was like a few thousand feet. And in Colorado, like Boulder area was about like a mile high. So about like half of that. And then Arizona gets a little bit higher actually
Ah,
than
okay.
Colorado. Like in Flagstaff and stuff. But
Yeah.
yeah, so it's good at altitude too, like over in those areas. But yeah, I just kind of cruised around there, and I mean, it definitely helped. I was just like taking photos, like of just like my journey and like things that were like really pretty, and it definitely really helped to have these like gorgeous, beautiful landscapes like all around me. And someone like hit me up about it, and they're like, "This is like really rad. Like these shots are cool. Like, would you be interested in like shooting at the Boston Marathon?" And I interviewed to do that job, and I ended up getting it through Marathon Photo. And I drove up through New York City. I actually met my current girlfriend, Molly, at the time, and I never left New York City after that. So I drove through New York City on the way to Boston, met her, and went to Boston, and just came back to New York, and I've been here ever since.
Oh, that's so cool.
Yeah.
Okay, talking about New York, I read that you were with the Lost Boys.
Hmm.
Can you tell me a bit more about them?
Yeah, so it's a really fun groups of guys and girls. And basically, when I first got to New York, they were just kind of like messing around and like starting to form that group. And basically, there was like a lot of like serious like run groups like in the city, and they were just like, you know what, like we just like want to kind of like form a group that's just like more centered around like we still really want to do well, but we're just like kind of like here to just like having fun and doing the things that we like to do and enjoy and stuff like that. It doesn't have to be like uber competitive about like everything we do. So they just kind of like started like formulating that, and just kind of continued to expand and grow, and really just I feel like a group of collective of people that really just like enjoy the sport and are kind of like going after like our own like ambitious goals, like whatever they may be, and just like pretty cool and like a lot of fun.
That sounds good. Um, Now the question of the questions.
Oh yeah.
Why did you double up the marathon in Rio?
Yeah, without a doubt. So that was like super awesome. Actually, I was really happy on how that all turned out. Just
Yeah,
because
I saw the video earlier, the on video, but the Stratus.
Yeah. Yeah. So actually, yeah, on talked to me about it, reached out to me, and we're like, would you be interested in doing this with this like campaign? And I was like, heck yeah, let's do it. Let's go for it. I'm about it. I'm down for it. So yeah, we went down there and I ran the Rio de Janeiro Marathon 2 times in a row, and the Stratus right when it was getting released for the first generation, and yeah, unbelievable experience. And I was definitely really stoked too that I felt really well that day because I was like, I hope they don't get me on camera just like dying over 50 miles, just like oh.
But were you running like more than marathon distances before, or was it more like a, okay, let's just do it and see if I can survive?
Yeah, actually, I had run. I think I had run like a few different 50 milers beforehand, but they definitely didn't go as smooth as that. So I feel like during that day, I actually kind of was like getting more into my groove of like doing these like ultra like longer distances, and I was like super stoked at how well it turned out.
I think it's just so funny. I mean, I also heard that you had troubles to find the way when you were doing the second loop.
Yeah, without a doubt. So basically, they started. So there was definitely a lot of different like troubles, like a few days coming into like the marathon. So basically, the course was supposed to be out and back, like along kind of the coast of Brazil and Rio. And so what happened? There was like a big like mudslide, like a landslide, like a few days before. So they had to like reroute the whole marathon like through the city.
Oh my
Uh,
God.
yeah, like the for the everybody, for so like the course was like kind of like twisty and turny at some spots. And basically I ran the first marathon, came through and I think like right under 250 or like 246 or something like that. And they were starting to tear down the marathon course. So I was like running and I was like running along and like some of the turns I just like I didn't know where they were. And then I got like because I was like running with my phone and the crew that was with me, they like called me up because they had like a tracker on me. They're like, hey, like you're like in the wrong area, like please come back, like all this stuff. So I like ran back. But yeah, so I got like a little like turned around on like part of the course, but it all turned out smoothly and
So
got to still like run the distance.
you might have you might run even further than you were supposed to when you were in some areas where you wasn't supposed to be.
Yeah, basically. So I ended up like doing that, and then I didn't have to like do like a little like section like in the city.
Yeah.
And I just like ran for the distance after that, which was like 52 like and a half miles. Because then I just like got back on the course and I was like, all right, we'll see where it goes.
Oh God. And what did the people like when you arrived there and you said, okay, hey guys, I'm gonna do it again. I'm just gonna do another like shakeout run here. What did the people say?
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people like saw me just kind of like run through the finish line. Like they like gave me a medal, and I was like, all right, I'm like going around again, and they were like what? And then like when I was like coming through like towards the end, I was like ended up like passing like a bunch of people like coming in as well for the first marathon, and they were like, oh my gosh, like pretty shocked.
But they, I'm just wondering. I mean, if I run, I don't think about a person who could run the marathon a second time. I mean, this is nothing that like just happens.
Mm.
And just I don't know. It's just so funny, and I really like that you did that.
Oh yeah,
And
yeah. I mean, running some of those ultra distances are definitely I feel like pretty crazy when you think about. I feel like sometimes I like even run like I don't know, even if you run like a marathon or something, which is like a crazy like accomplishment. I feel like you like look back or you like drive it afterwards and you're like, "Oh my god, this is like really far. I can't believe I just like ran this."
yeah, I mean, especially in New York when you run, I mean, you run in every like, well, how do you call it now? Not state.
Thorough.
Yeah, I mean
Mhm.
that's so much.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it's pretty outstanding, but super cool. Like I mean, you see so much on like all of those runs, and it's like really cool. It's I mean definitely the best way to explore, and definitely a really cool way to challenge yourself.
Yeah, congratulations for that.
Nice.
And how come that you were running for the US team at some point? Was it just that someone came to you and said, "Hey, do you want to do that?" Or what's the process behind it?
Yeah, without a doubt. Yeah, so I feel like at least in the US, a lot of our processes have to do with like national championships. So like we'll have like USA championships like throughout the year, and usually if you get like top three or something like that, like in like track and field, or very similar like on the trails and stuff. And I actually placed like in the top three at two different USA championships for like 50K. And it ended up qualifying me for like the world championships out in Portugal. So I mean, definitely like a really cool experience, and I mean, definitely one of like the pinnacles of my career of like being on a world team. So super cool.
Oh, that sounds so nice. How was it in Portugal? Did you stay there for a couple of days or weeks or something? Or just for the
Yeah,
race?
yeah, without a doubt. I actually got to be out there with the USA team like a handful of days like early. So we were like running around a little bit, got to check out the course and like scout it. Then we like raced, and then I was out there with some of my friends who came out to support me, and which was like super fun. And the course was like unbelievable, really tough, but like super gorgeous and really cool. Lots of like climbing, lots of like technical stuff, and really cool like forest. And
How did you prepare for that race? I mean, New York, I'm not sure if you have like technical trails there.
yeah, it's definitely a little tougher in New York City. Like, there's nothing like too similar to that, too close to that. But you can drive outside the city about like 45 minutes, and you can get some like decent climbs and like some technical stuff. But yeah, it's definitely hard on a day-to-day basis. I mean, luckily I live like uptown in the city, so like near like Harlem in the Bronx.
Mhm.
It gets a little bit more hilly, and there's like some big stair climbs. So I was like training a little bit on that, and also just like the stairmaster in the gym when we could still go to the gym.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And how did it go? Did you enjoy the race there?
Oh yeah. I mean, it was probably the craziest race in my entire life to this day. I mean, maybe New York City Marathon. It's like a different level, but on a trail race, I mean, we all like at least me. Like I felt like just like a crazy like sports star. Like all these different like fans and like they like knew the athletes. They were like coming out. There was like thousands of people like along the course. I feel like I was like in the Tour de France or something. Like people were like at my back, like up the mountain and stuff like that. And it was just like unbelievable, like trail running experience. Something that I've never experienced myself. Very similar to I don't know if you've seen any of the videos from like Zagama or anything like that. One of the trail races. And very similar like crowds and stuff that were out there. So really cool.
Oh, nice. And how did you prepare for that? I mean, what's a normal training week for you when you have these like races on the calendar?
Yeah, so like I feel like I switch up my training a decent amount, like or every now and then, just because like I do so many different distances. Like I definitely am a little bit more like skewed on like the trail and ultra side, but I still dip down to like some like road races and like marathons and stuff like that. Just like living in New York City, also it's like a lot easier to find like there's like a race usually every weekend that you
Yeah.
can like get out and do, but most of them like road and not ultra marathons. But so yeah, like I feel like going towards that, I try to like boost up my some of my like long runs a little bit. But I feel like a lot of my training kind of is like almost like a marathon training plan where like I'm still like trying to sharpen my speed a little bit, so I'm like staying snappy and like fresh, but also definitely like getting in some of those like longer like harder efforts to prepare for the distance.
And how many miles do you run?
So per week, I would say it definitely like varies a bit, especially if I do like an ultra in the week. It definitely like pull boost that up quite a bit. But
Yeah.
I would say my normal weeks vary between like probably like towards like 70 to like 90 miles a week.
Okay. And do you also do other sports like riding your bike or swimming or something like that?
Every now and then, I don't swim that much. Most of the places actually that I mean, I would love to swim, but like a lot of the rivers and stuff like that, like in New York City, are a little bit more like dirty. And I might come out with like a superpower or something for like
Well,
if
next
I
time you
go,
can fly. That's right.
yeah, if you drink the water in the East River, might grow a third arm or something.
Oh no.
And but I do bike. I've been getting more into biking actually lately, which is like a lot of fun. There's like some pretty cool routes, and then we actually also got like during the harsher lockdowns of like in like quarantine, we got a Peloton bike. So
Oh,
getting a little,
that's cool.
so it's been a lot of fun.
My mom was actually thinking about it. She was talking about it a couple of days ago, and she was like, "There's this bike. You can put it. You can put it in front of your TV, and you just cycle." And I was like, "Yes, that's Peloton."
Yeah. Yeah, you should get it. It's like super, super sick. It's like a lot of fun. It's really cool. And I feel like you can jump on it anytime.
Yeah. And what about like meditation and yoga and these things? Do you do that?
Actually, maybe I should probably a little bit more, but I feel like I actually don't like do too much. I guess like meditation or yoga. I'm definitely trying to like stretch a little bit more. But I feel like in general too, I feel like I have like a pretty like I guess like a collected slash like chill state of mind for the most part. On like my day to day life. So I think that's like I guess like a really positive thing going for me. But I think it's always nice to definitely like slow down to like recenter yourself and I think those are definitely excellent ways to kind of do that. So I definitely probably should maybe like a little bit more and slow down and stop living so much of a New York City lifestyle. But I'm glad I still like have like a pretty I guess like calm peace state of mind most of the time.
Well, you're always smiling, so I think this is already a good thing.
Yeah.
Okay, coming back to the training, what kind of food do you take with you when you go on like long trail runs or like training runs in general?
Yeah, for sure. So I feel like most of the time it's just like a lot of like granola bars and like Cliff bars and stuff like that. But I also like I like love sweets and like candy. So like Snickers are usually like my always my go-to. And like usually what I eat in like a lot of like ultra marathons. Like that's all I basically ate like when I ran at the Rio like double marathon. Is a
Yeah.
bunch of water and Snickers.
I wanted to ask you what's your favorite chocolate is because I already heard that you're kind of addicted to chocolate when it comes to like your marathons.
Oh yeah, without a doubt. Yeah, I love sweets. I like love chocolate. So I'm always eating like tons of like chocolate. Like I just like have like bags of chocolate chips. So I'm just like usually like so,
Well, people say that chocolate is good for your mental health, and you get like all the endorphins and all that stuff. So that might be the reason why you're smiling all the time.
yeah, it's all in the chocolate. I love it.
Okay. Do you have a routine when it comes to your when it comes to your race, or is there something that, or is there anything like food wise, or I mean you don't meditate, so I don't know, anything else?
Yeah, nothing. I would say nothing like too routine. I mean, depending on like the race too. If it's like an ultra marathon, I definitely make sure like I got some like Body Glide and some like Band-Aids. So like my nipples like don't bleed or anything because the long distance. Um,
Have you had that before?
yeah, it's definitely like kind of painful. Like it usually only happens like on like the very long stuff, like upwards towards like 50 miles with like the shirt just kind of like moving like all the time. And yeah, so make sure I got all that usually like locked in, and then other than that, like I feel like nothing too specific. I mean, it's always just like super rad and super nice to have like some like friends and like good company around, which I always like prefer. But I would say other than that, just kind of like vibing out, maybe listen to some like good tunes and get rolling.
So what's your current favorite song?
Oof, my current favorite song. Actually, my friend was playing this song the other day, and I've been listening to it like nonstop. It's Kanye, No Hands. Um,
I don't know this one.
but well, let me check if I got the right. Oh, oh, Hands On. That's what it is.
I'm gonna check it out later.
Hands On, yeah. And then also like I don't know if you heard any of Adam's on the tech rep in Chicago or in the Midwest. He actually makes some music, so I've been jamming out some of his songs as well.
Really?
Yeah, so pretty cool.
Nice. I'm gonna check
Mhm.
that out as well.
Yeah.
So cool. I also heard that you were doing like a COVID 100, not really race, but like a fundraising event this year. So how did that come together?
Yeah. So actually, one of my good friends, he's actually staying with me right now. He's the guy who showed me the song the other day. Is his name's Brendan Clark. He's a great cinematographer and photographer. And so we actually grew up together and went to high school and everything together. And we live up in New York City. And we both went back down to Florida, kind of to escape a little bit when everything was first like getting a little bit more heavy with like COVID. And we were just kind of talking on the phone, and he was like, "Man," he's like, "I just like everything's like canceled. Like I kind of like want to do like a project or something." And I was like, "Dude, me too." Like I was like, "I've always been like wanting to run 100 miles. I planned on running like a larger race and trying to get into the Western States 100 in March." And I was like, "What if I like ran 100 miles and you like documented it?" And he's like, "I'm down. Let's do it." So we actually we're kind of going into it like that. And I was like thinking, I was like, how can we get like more people like engaged? And so like came up with the idea of like using like Facebook Live to kind of like let people like run alongside with me like virtually, because people are like locked in like different places like all around the world. And then we also like thought about, we're like, well, if people like actually engaging and like kind of like linking up to run, like maybe they would like want to donate to a cause. And so thought of the idea of like I work with like a lot of like run specialty retail partners up in New York City. And I was like, we could like donate to them and buy product from them, and then donate the product to like frontline like workers that are working throughout all of COVID. So it ended up like being like a huge success. I mean, neither of us thought it would grow to the extent that it did. I mean, we raised over like $20,000 and got lots of like national and I guess like global like publicity. So really cool.
Wow, that's amazing, really.
But yeah, it was such a, I mean, on top of that, it was just like I mean, I feel like it was like so natural, like so organic, and just like such a fun time. I mean, even the whole day. I mean, there was times, of course, like where I wasn't like feeling the best because I was running 100 miles. But I feel like the whole journey was like so cool and so fun, and I feel like it's like something that all of us, so it was like me, Brendan, my girlfriend Molly, and my mom, who were supporting me during the day, that we're all just like remember forever. And it was such a cool day.
Oh, that sounds so wonderful. I mean, after accomplishing like this, like running 100 miles, is there something that you would do differently when you do it the next time?
I would say I would say like if I made, so I made my course, which like linked together like all my hometown like trails and stuff. I would say I would have made it like a slightly different course probably, because I was like running in the middle of the heat with like no shade basically for all of the 100 miles.
Oh no.
So I was like getting like roasted. But other than that, like I mean, um, I think it all went basically very well. I mean, I would probably also like, if I was running in that extreme of heat again, I think like having a little bit more like water on hand, and like maybe like some kind of like pool or like ice tub that I could like sit in to like cool down like my whole body temperature. But other than that, I feel like honestly for like my first one, it went like extremely well. And I think that was part of it, because I wasn't like going out there, I guess, like to like go after some like big time or anything. But I was like, hey, I'm just like gonna get through this, and I was like kind of want to do this like for fun, to like raise money and to just do it. So I feel like I really like took my time and was like pretty collected the whole way. And it was like super awesome. So I feel like overall like it went pretty well. But I feel like there's like a few things, whether it be like nutrition, hydration, and having like a few key things depending on like the weather, that I would switch up.
I think it's interesting what you've just said. When you have a cause, like a good cause that you run for, I think this is a really good motivation to achieve these things, especially when you run like for 100 miles. I mean, think about it, that's so far. And
Oh my gosh.
you did something good. I mean, is there, I mean, I think it's the best thing that you can do if you want to like change something in this world and if you want to impact what's going on right now. So heads up for that one.
Thanks. Yeah. I mean, yeah, we were, I mean, so stoked that how well it all like turned out. And I think the coolest thing was, of course, like raising the money was like super awesome, and giving back to all these like wonderful people that are doing stuff and helping businesses out. But also, I think just like during that time, it was so cool just like talking to so many different people, and just seeing how many people were just like super excited and like happy to kind of like have something like going on, and to like join along for like the run, and to even like show me where they were running at as well. It was like super cool.
Oh, that's so nice. But do you have an idea? I mean, coming back to all your racing, do you have an idea where your competitive mind comes from?
I don't know. Like, I feel like I've always like, I think that's like really what drives me. I feel like, in most things is like, I feel like I'm like, yeah, like a pretty like chill person, but I'm like a very like competitive person, like internally, where I like always like want to like give it 110%, I guess, like for myself. And I feel like it's just like always something that like I've had, and but just like having that with like a balance, I guess, of just like loving to be like around people. Like sports have has been such a, I guess, like a great thing in my life, always.
So when you say it was always there, what was the longest period of time that when you wasn't running? I mean, was it just like 2 days or a longer period of time? Do you remember that?
Yeah, so actually, so I mean, I played sports ever since I was like a young kid. I remember, I guess, the first time that I actually, I guess, like was competitive, when I just got like, I was in like kindergarten, and so I was like 4 or 5 years old, and I just got like destroyed, like on the playground and doing something, and I was like so frustrated with myself. I was like, this can never happen again. Like I'm like so upset, and I feel like ever since then I was like super like committed to trying to like, I guess, like never let that happen again to me, because I felt like so embarrassed, I guess, for myself.
Oh,
And um, but yeah, like ever since, I guess, like then, I've always like been in some kind of sports, and always like leading all the way up until like running. I played like soccer and like basketball and things along those lines, and I guess like I feel like I always had like a very like competitive spirit.
ah, cool. Um, I'm actually wondering, I mean, you achieved so many things already, but what was the hardest race for you when you think back?
I feel like I've had like a few like over the years, that were just like so difficult. Even, I guess, if they weren't like probably on paper like the most difficult. But I feel like anybody, like I feel like if you're in stuff like whether any kind of category for like a long time, I feel like you're always gonna like have like huge successes and huge failures, especially like if you're trying to like compete at like a, or do things at like a really high level. So I feel like, yeah, definitely like anyone that has like got to like some kind of like pinnacle, or like has had any kind of like big achievements. I feel like there's like always like huge like failures like along the way. But probably one of the ones that I think, I don't think actually the race like ended up being like a failure, because I ended up doing like really well at it. But it was one of the first 50 miles I did, but it was like so painful. Like
Oh no.
I was like, I like finished, and someone like commented on the picture. I was like going across the line, and I actually ended up like winning. But like I just like looked at like, I got like run over by a truck, like. Uh, and someone's like, dude, you look terrible. And I was like, I felt really terrible. I was
Oh
like
no.
terrible. So probably my first 50 mile was like one of the hardest things like I ever did. And I just like felt so sick, so like beaten up. I felt like I could like barely walk. Like
Was
after,
it was it on the road or on a trail?
it was on trail. It was a mixture of like hard dirt road, and some like Rudy, like wild Florida like trail. It was down in like the Everglades. So it was also
Oh, nice.
pretty,
With the
pretty.
crocodiles.
Yeah, exactly. I was like jumping over alligators, like snagging
Uh,
snakes off the tree.
but I mean, if that was such a hard race, why did you decide to run 50, or why did you decide to run this distance again?
Yeah, I don't know. It's like one of those things. I feel like it's like kind of crazy, like when you really like sit back and think about it. And maybe I guess it like leads back to like being like competitive or like kind of I guess like the overall feeling that it like gives you or like that maybe endurance sports give you. But I feel like I honestly like I felt terrible. I felt really terrible for like I feel like 12 hours. And then I was like at like the beach, I think like the next day, and I started like jogging down the beach a little bit. And I still felt bad, but I was like, I can't wait to get out there again. And I'm like so excited to like kind of try to like conquer this like this distance and like get after it because like I know I can like not like feel like that. I know I can like feel better. I know I can do better, kind
Yeah.
of thing. So I feel like that's like always like in the back of my mind and yeah, I feel like what makes me really excited for like the next one. And I guess I'm glad too because if I like always like remembered like how like painful it was, I'd be like I don't know if I, if I want to do this.
Oh, that's so interesting. I mean, with all the things that you have achieved, do you, or that you also won, do you think that you win the race that you go into, or is it more like, oh, I think I can actually win this thing after a couple of kilometers? How is their mind like set in this whole process?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I go into anything like I mean, I guess like wanting to win. And just like trying to be like as competitive as like possible. I think yeah, like I think that's like really what like fuels me. I think the two things that like I love about sport is just the community and like love being like around people, but also like being competitive, like and being like in the mix within anything. So I feel like going in, I feel like I have like mindset like I'm gonna go out and I'm gonna like try to like get it going. And if I feel like these guys are like just like crushing me already, then maybe I'll like pull back a little bit and keep it going and see if I can like reel them back in. But usually I feel like always going into the race, I have like a pretty strong like mindset of like I want to like win.
Okay, and I mean, you kind of run everything. I mean, you're the perfect example for like this sports person who can do like every distance and can sprint and can win and can run for like 100 miles and can win something. But could you say that there's one distance that you really love to do and that you would always like to do more often or something like that?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I would probably say if I had to pick for like a distance or like kind of event, I think my heart really is like on like the trails and stuff. So I would probably actually say maybe like 50-mile like trail or maybe 50K, which is like quite a bit shorter. But I would say like 50-mile trail. I think it's like it's still like that great like medium distance where it's still like pretty dang far, but you can still like click off like a pretty like solid pace if you like get going.
When you say solid pace, I mean, what is, I think your record is like 3 hours for the 50K, is that right?
Yeah, so I've gone like right around like 3 hours for 50K, and yeah, and then like 540 for 50 or over 50 miles. Mhm.
That's crazy.
Thanks.
It's so fast. Um, so this year is a quite special year. How did it go? How are you at the moment? Did you survive the lockdown?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it's been I mean, definitely been like a pretty crazy year, pretty surreal. Like I feel like it feels like almost like unreal like sometimes just like being out and about. But everything's been honestly it's been like pretty solid on my end and I've been like very very thankful. Like none of my like close friends or family have really been too like directly like affected with like being healthy first of all, so that's like super awesome. And then also I don't think I know too many people that have been like affected like with jobs as well, so it's definitely been like really positive and it's been really cool I guess like too to like I mean, it's definitely been a bummer to not like be able to like a lot of like the big events and stuff have been canceled, but it's been cool to kind of like I guess like switch it up to like engage a little bit more in like virtual races and like I've been able to still like meet like a lot of people like online and kind of even get to like enjoy like certain things a little bit more and train a little bit. I feel like harder, like go after like FKTs on like trails and things along those lines. So still staying busy and just kind of like switching it up a little bit. So it's still been pretty fun. But definitely super excited when some more like live racing is going to come along.
Oh, nice. So what was on the calendar for this year? I have to ask.
Yeah, for sure. I had quite a bit actually. I usually enjoy like racing quite a bit. But a few of the key ones was I wanted to run the Georgia Death Race, and it was a Western States qualifier, and I was gonna hopefully try to get top two at that race, to go race Western States in the summer. And then I also had a few other like sky running races and a few races like near I can't remember what the name of it was, but it was off the coast of like Portugal, and
Oh, nice.
which I was gonna run with some of the on trail team and stuff like that. So I was
Oh,
definitely
cool.
bummed that we didn't get to like link up and do some of those like fun things, and but there's always next year, and hopefully everything will be a little bit more settled with the world.
Where exactly is the difference between a sky run and like a normal trail run or ultra trail runs?
Yeah, I feel like a lot of the differences. I feel like they're all like there's like a pretty like big crossover in a lot of them. But like sky running usually is like just like at very high altitude,
Okay.
and like a lot of like climbing throughout the whole of it, like um, the the whole race. And then like trail running, I feel like is like almost like the embodiment of like all of it. And then ultra is usually just kind of like I feel like 50K and up like in distance. But yeah, I feel like there's like a ton of like crossover in a lot of it.
Okay, that's interesting. I didn't know that because I was supposed to study in China the last semester, and there was a sky run, and I wanted to go there, but I actually didn't know what it is. I just thought, all right, I want to do a trail run, and it looks fine.
Mhm.
But yeah, canceled everything. But yeah, I was supposed to do my first one, but
Yeah, you
maybe
gotta
next
check it
year.
out. Without a doubt, yeah, it's so fun and I mean, really, really cool.
Yeah, I'm gonna try it. So you said that 50K is your favorite distance, and what's your like favorite race that you've had or that you want to race? I mean, doesn't matter, but is it a 50K or is it something else?
I think actually like some like 100-mile races are like I feel like the biggest things like that I kind of like want to do and that like are really like exciting me. I know like I went out and like trained in the Colorado a little bit this year, so I think like I'm eyeing Leadville 100 quite a
Yeah.
bit, which seems like pretty rad. And then another one that I think just like looks really really cool is actually the Hurt 100 in Hawaii.
I
Um,
haven't heard about that one.
yeah, so it's yeah, 100-mile race that's supposed to be like one of the most challenging just like around, but it looks super cool. I mean, I really enjoy like the tropical environments. So I think it would just be like really really rad to like run through like some of like those like rainforests and
Oh
things along
yeah.
those lines. Mhm.
What about the Hard Rock?
And sorry, oh, Hard
The
Rock.
Hard Rock 100. Do you want to do it?
Oh yeah, without a doubt. Yeah, definitely like I'm that one too. Hard Rock and like Western States without a doubt. Maybe like come over to like UTMB.
Yeah.
But definitely some of like the more like iconic ones as well. Definitely want to have some of those under my belt, which would be really cool.
Oh, nice. Sounds really nice. So in New York City, what's your favorite place to run? Is it the Center Park or do you have something else?
So yeah, Central Park is definitely a super rad place to run. I mean, it's definitely I feel like it does get like quite a bit of attention, but like there's so many places I feel like people like don't run. So like I feel like I'm always like running through like the fields. There's some like back trails. There's actually like a hidden like house like in the north woods of like the park. Um, so there's like really really cool places to run, but I feel like I normally mostly like run like uptown because it's like right out my door. Like I live up in the Bronx, and I run across like the High Bridge, and there's so many like cool green spaces like up in the Bronx, and like in Harlem I run this like 2 mile like trail that leads past like the oldest house like in Manhattan, and then like back across and. It goes by like Van Cortlandt Park, which is like a really cool like cross country course. So I feel like it's like really fun to like to run up uptown as well, and I feel like that's where I do like the majority of my running too, just because it's like so close by.
That sounds really nice. And when I was there, I was also running around the Hudson Bay, and I think this is also really nice. I mean, it's not on trails, you're still like on the road or on like hard surface, but I really enjoyed that because the view is so nice when you can like see New Jersey on the other side and you have like nice people around you. I really like it.
Oh yeah, it's so gorgeous, especially in the evening when everything's like lit up. It's like
Oh
unbelievable.
yeah,
It's definitely one of the best spots.
absolutely. I heard that you did all the major marathons in the States, so I have to ask. I'm from Berlin. When do you want to run the Berlin Marathon?
I'm down. I am down. 2021, count me in.
Oh, nice. Well, okay, you can come to Berlin and I will come to Chicago because I was actually supposed to run Chicago this year.
Oh really? Oh wow. Yeah, you
Yeah,
can
yeah.
get over here like right now then.
Yeah, it was supposed to be yesterday.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
wild. Next year though, yeah, you're gonna love it. Chicago's so cool. It's really really cool. But yeah, that sounds rad. I'll take you up on that trade.
Yay. Did you watch the London Marathon?
I did. I mean, pretty surreal and pretty crazy how they had them like, just like in that bubble for a little while, just like locked down.
Yeah.
But yeah, really, really crazy, like performances. And I feel like, I mean, a lot of people are running like really fast times right now, which is like really fun to see and
Yeah.
really inspiring. I feel like for the sport overall, especially just like kind of like given the state of everything.
I was just amazed by Sarah Hall. Her
Oh,
sprint in the end, I was just like, "Oh my God. How? Where is it coming? Like, how can you do that?"
yeah, it's wild to see like yeah people like take off like that, be so explosive at the end of such a long distance.
Yeah. I don't know. I just love her. I mean, I saw her the first time. I mean, when I was in New York, there was this podcast with Lindsay Hine. I'll have another, and she invited Sarah and a couple of other runners to this podcast interview. And when I saw her for the first time, I was like, "Oh my God, you're such an inspiring woman. You're such an inspiring athlete." And I was always amazed by her. And so it was just so nice to see that she had such a good race in London. And I mean, second place, that's amazing.
Insane. It's so crazy. So wild.
So talking about On, have you been to Switzerland, to the headquarters?
I actually have. One second. I'm actually gonna move a little bit because my computer's about to die. So I'm gonna grab my charger. Um, this is actually the man himself, my buddy Brendan.
Hey.
But I have actually been to Switzerland one time. We were gonna go again uh, this this May. But of course, with everything, got shifted. But yeah, I enjoyed it quite a bit. Went to Switzerland, and then one of my buddies on the team too, Chris. We went over to Germany, like in Munich,
Oh,
um,
really?
for like a day. So that was really really cool as well.
How did you like Germany?
It was great. I thought it was like super awesome. Like, I mean, I couldn't personally believe it. Like being in, I can't remember the name of the park, but it was like the big park, like in the city. Um, but I couldn't believe, like, I feel like how clean everything was, and like there's people like in like the river, like in the park, like surfing and doing all that stuff.
Yeah.
So I mean, it was like I thought it was like super cool. I really enjoyed the area, and I thought the people are like really nice. Food is great. But it was really cool. Like, I mean, I couldn't imagine someone like swimming like in the water in like Central Park.
Well, that's
Uh,
the same in Berlin, so don't be too excited.
yeah.
Um, how did you get in touch with On?
Yeah. So basically, I had applied for the job like about like what is it, a little over 2 years ago. I saw it like pop up like in the area, and one of my buddies too, that the guy I actually was in Munich with, he worked at On currently. And so I chatted with him a little bit about it and got linked up, and then went through like all the interviews and just like uh, came through. And it's been like such a really cool journey the last few years because I feel like the company has like grown so much, and like a lot of like our product line has like really like skyrocketed. So it's been pretty surreal and really cool.
That's so nice. What kind of job did you apply for?
So I applied to be the tech rep in kind of like the tri-state area. So I was New York City, like Long Island, all of New Jersey, and like Eastern Pennsylvania, which is like Philly and stuff like that.
Ah, all right. So I would work for you if I would be in. New York.
Yeah, if you're in the area, yeah, we'd be definitely like collaborating a bunch, which would be a lot of fun. Yeah, like all the ambassadors stuff around here is like super sick, and it's such a cool group of people.
What kind of projects do you have at the moment? Do you have anything, or is not really something happening?
Yeah, so it's actually been like pretty busy as of late. I've been getting a lot of stuff done. I'm a little bit more like on the marketing side of things now, but we're actually planning on like a really cool like activation that's coming up surrounding like the virtual like New York City Marathon from
Oh,
October
nice.
17th to the 1st of November. So a lot of like community projects, and that's about to be activated as well. On top of like our New York City store and our office are kind of like getting like set up like currently. So that'll be like launched pretty soon as well.
Yeah, we had that as well. We had like a whole week of like activations here in Berlin before the marathon, and it was super nice to run with the people and to shoot some nice pictures with them. And it was so funny because the fast group were all the men in the black shirts, and then the woman came with all the white shirts because we were a bit slower than them, and all the people were just like, "Oh, now the white ones are coming," and it was just so funny to see like the reactions of the people. But yeah.
Yeah.
And what you're a test runner for On as well, is that right?
Yeah, for some of the product, yeah, I get it. I get it a little earlier, and and I'm able to check it out. So it's pretty cool.
So what does it mean to be a test runner? Do you go to their, I don't know, lab and then run and see what you can improve? Like how can I imagine that?
Yeah, basically. So yeah, like that's basically exactly it. So you usually get like product a little bit ahead of times and kind of just like review like how it's like holding up, like things that you like about it, and like dislike about it, and it's like see like how it can actually be improved before like the release of it. So the product usually gets like switched up quite a bit, like with the feedback from all the different like test runners.
Oh, that's so cool. And what is a normal working day for you at the moment?
Oof, I feel like it's like a tough one. I feel like my days are always like so much of a variety, so different all the time. But I feel like I always like get up. I feel like I'm always like checking like emails like on the computer, getting things like situated. Usually like I guess like the boring part of it too is like usually like, writing up like a bunch of like plans and docs and reports and stuff like that to make sure everything's like flowing well, and then really just like getting out quite a bit. I mean, it was a bit different like during when everything was a bit more locked down, but I'm getting out a bit more like into the community and like definitely like linking up a lot of people and like organizing kind of things that are going on. But directly being like a tech rep, there's a lot of stuff like for example like going into like install like build outs for the store for on training like the staff and like doing like clinics whether like virtual like or in person, helping the store like on the floor and like sell out a little bit like in the shop in general, and then also like events have been a little bit more scarce as well,
Yeah.
but I've gotten to do like a pretty cool few things lately. Had like a 200-person event on Saturday, which is like pretty awesome.
Oh, that's cool.
Mhm.
Yeah. I mean, in general, I do most of of the things as well with the selling and the events and well, with the build up in the store. So I really enjoy it, and the brand is just I just love it. And I think if you work for On, there's a reason why you work for them. And yeah, never not on.
Yeah, exactly. Always getting after, always busy.
So what's your favorite shoe?
Oof, my favorite shoe. That's a tough one as well. I would have to say it's probably the Cloud Stratus. So it's always like near and dear to my heart. But I just love it because I feel like it's like one of our most like versatile shoes. Where like it's a little bit wider, it fits the most people. I feel like it's like really soft. It can just like take a ton of miles, and I feel like it's still like sharp and springy enough for like where you can still get like moving pretty well in it. So
Yeah.
I love that shoe.
What about the Boom or the Flash? I mean, you're a fast runner, so I could imagine that you like one of them as well.
Yeah, the Boom. I love the Boom. So I've been running in that quite a bit as well. I would have to say like definitely like probably one of my top three. The shoes I feel like I run in the most are like the Cloud Flow, the Boom, and the Stratus. And yeah, I love the snappiness of the Boom, and also like the amount of cushion. It feels really good.
Yeah, I have to say that I really, really love the flow. I don't know why, but it's just such a nice feeling to run in them.
Oh yeah, without a doubt. Yeah, they're so comfy.
um, are there any future project or races on the calendar for you?
Yeah, so I have a trail marathon coming up in Utah at the beginning of November, and then I have another marathon potentially like in my hometown of Palm Bay, um, and at the end of November, which is like my hometown marathon. It's actually the oldest marathon in Florida. It's called the Space Coast Marathon. I've done that the last 5 years. So I might do it again this year if it still like ends up happening. Um, and yeah, that's kind of it for the year. And I'm starting to fill out my race schedule a little bit for next year. But yeah, a few more races for this year, and I'll probably jump in something. Like I feel like people are always like hitting me up like, do you want to do this and do that? And if I think it's like pretty cool, I usually like just jump in because it's fun.
Wow, that sounds really nice. Okay, so one last question about On. What do you think about the new Cyclone?
I'm super stoked on it. I mean, I've been really excited about like our mission to definitely like push forward. I know we've always been a pretty like sustainable company overall, but
Yeah.
definitely like start to like I feel like put out like how sustainable we are, and also like have like specialized like sector to like improve our sustainability efforts even more. So I think it's a really fun idea. I think it's a really cool, and I'm personally super excited to try it.
I can't wait. I will actually, I think it's not like set in stone, but I might write my bachelor thesis about this project.
It's awesome.
All right.
It's so
So, where can people find you? Can you tell them your Instagram handle, or do you have a website? I'm not even sure if you have a website.
Yeah, mainly just on my Instagram. I feel like that's like the easiest place to find me is and it's just my name. It's David Kilgore. So yeah, you can always find me there. I'm on Facebook as well, but usually like those two spots, and I feel like I'm always like pretty responsive on social. So yeah, hit me up if you have any questions or anything, and yeah, love the link up.
Nice. Okay. So, I have three more questions.
Mhm.
First question is a book that inspired you.
Oof, a book that inspired me. It's a tough one. I would say maybe it's pretty low key, but it's like it's Once Upon a Time. It's The Giving Tree. So
Oh,
I feel like
really?
yeah, I feel like it's like a real like old school book, and definitely like more like a children's book sort of thing. But like it's I feel like it's like really cool. It's just like I feel like it's like a good story of like about like being like selfless and kind of like giving your full self to things you're doing.
Oh, nice. All right. Question number two. What excites you after waking up?
I think anything like really new. And also like I love to be like sold things. So like if someone can come up to me like at any time and like no matter what it is, and they're just like super stoked about it and super amped up, I feel like I just like I want that energy, and I just like love that. And I'm just like really ready to kind of I guess like explore and do anything new. So I really love meeting like new people and seeing what excites people, and kind of like um, hopefully helping them like build that and just like enjoying it with them.
I love this answer because most of the of the people that I've interviewed, they said coffee.
Yeah.
Okay, last question. One thing that everyone should know, not just about you in general.
One thing everyone should know in general is hmm, always make sure you have a pair of ons in your closet. Always
Oh
ready.
my God, I love this. That's so cool. Thank you so much for coming on the show today. I can't wait to see you in Berlin at some point.
Of course, yeah, I can't wait. It'd be great to link up. Thanks so much for having me.
Always a pleasure. Have a nice day and all the best for you in your on shoes.
Much appreciated. You too.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you so much for tuning in with me today. Make sure to let me know how this episode resonated with you by tagging me under @ElisaLicious over on Instagram. That's where you can also send me a DM if you have any questions or suggestions. If you want to know more, make sure to head over to elisalicious.de where you can find the show notes for each episode. And please make sure to pop over to iTunes and leave me a rating and review. And hey, if you like what you hear, check out my Patreon page where you can support my work. I appreciate that so much. Big thank you to Tanja Notschaele for graphics and music by Temple Hayes. Have a wonderful rest of the day and I'll see you next week.